All right, there are so many talented students and educators in our district, and that serves as a real inspiration to me as your superintendent. So today, I wanted to invite some of our students here. We have 4 students from the Future Educator Scholars Academy with us today. This is only the 2nd year for the FEA Scholars Program, and they wanted to share an inspirational message as the student voice today. And I know some of the people in the audience today played a role in their choices for these students to choose education as their career pathway. So please welcome these Future Educator Academy scholars as each of them will share their story with you.
Hi, my name is Morgan Hopper, and I will be a sophomore in the Future Educator Academy at Scott High School. I have wanted to become a teacher ever since I was in elementary school, and I believe that all of my teachers have had a huge impact on that decision, but today I will talk about 3 that greatly impacted my decision. Mr. Johnson, who was coincidentally my 4th and 5th grade teacher, took a subject, which was math, and used activities that made me come to absolutely love it. Every day when it would be time for math, I would be excited to find out what that day's activities were going to be. They were usually very interactive activities, such as rolling a die 10 times to find the average of the numbers rolled. This helped to engage me in learning math and to appreciate the creativity Mr. Johnson brought to the classroom every single day. Another teacher, Miss McCoy, made every single day of my 8th grade year at Woodland Middle School something to look forward to. She made her students respect her, along with being a friend or someone that any student could reach out to if they needed to talk. Ms. McCoy would also reward her classes for their good behavior. Every time we would not listen to class, we would get 1 letter of the word quiet. If we had not spelled out quiet by the end of the week, we got free seat Friday. I mean, how cool is that? This was one of the many ways Ms. McCoy made her students respect her and the rules of her classroom. I started my freshman year knowing I wanted to become a teacher. Fortunately, Education Basics was offered to incoming freshmen, such as myself, who wanted to pursue a career in education. This class helped me to become more confident in my decision of becoming an educator. Ms. Insko was the instructor for this course. Over the 2 trimesters I had known Ms. Insko, she had made such a lasting impression on me. Every day when we would have project work day, where we would work on our year-long presentations, she was always available for advice to help myself and my classmates to make our presentations the best they could be. She also taught me that you have to work well with no matter who you're working with, because in real life, you might have to work with people you don't want to, but you have to make it work. This was one of the many lessons Ms. Insko taught myself and my classmates. Over the 1 year I had known Ms. Insko, she helped me become more confident in my decision of becoming an educator in the future. Ever since I was a little girl, I knew I wanted to become a teacher, and teachers like Mr. Johnson, Ms. McCoy, and Ms. Insko helped make that choice more clear to me. They also made me love coming to school every single day, and they taught me to love learning. And for that, I'm thankful to them. I would also like to thank the superintendent, Dr. Cox-Cruey, and especially the school board for allowing the Future Educator Academy to exist and realizing its importance to students like myself who want to pursue a career in education in the future. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Asha Collins and I'm a senior at Scott High School and a 3rd year in the King County Academies. I started off in the Biomedical Sciences Academy, but I found my true calling when I switched to the Future Educators. This year, I will also be attending the Gemini College Academy. Yes, a college student while I'm still in high school. Throughout my school career, I have had many teachers who have affected me greatly. In elementary school, Ms. Gendorf. Ms. Gendorf was my 4th grade teacher, and she affected me greatly. As many of my friends would tell you, I am an avid reader, but it wasn't always. Ms. Gendorf influenced this part of my life due to her habit of reading to us every day after school, or after class. This gave me a love for reading and learning that I hope to one day pass on to my students. Mr. Hampton was my 6th grade science teacher. He was one of my favorite teachers, and the reason for this is simple. In many classrooms, teachers are very serious with their students. Mr. Hampton, however, seemed to really enjoy his subject, and students looked forward to coming to his class every day. He was also very helpful academically, and he encouraged us to learn in whatever way worked best for us. This is the reason I am able to stand before you and speak today. Along the way, he taught his students that it was okay to be different, and that is what gave me my self-confidence growing up. Self-confidence is a very important trait in all people, but especially in middle schoolers who are just starting to learn who they want to be. In high school, Scott High School, Mr. Harris is the teacher I chose to speak about today. The reason I chose Mr. Harris is due to his role in my interests throughout high school. He is the director of the drama club at Scott, and that is something I've been a part of all 4 years. I have a great group of friends there who I can count on both in productions and outside of them. And his role in that is that he has brought us all together. As a club, we are a family. This is extremely important to me. And I would like to thank all of these teachers, as well as my other teachers and administrators who have made me the student I am today. Without them, I would not have my self-confidence, my love of reading, or the great group of friends I have carried with me throughout high school. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Whitney and I'm a first year in the Future Educator Academy. I have known that I've wanted to be a teacher ever since I was 5 and I would play in my room with my imaginary students. I would like to thank all of you for having me here today. As many of you are aware, teachers have a great effect on students' lives. Some may have more influence than others. In elementary school, Miss Shepherd, my 5th grade teacher, had a very encouraging effect on my life. And I say this because she cared about each and every one of their students and their individuality. It is sometimes hard for teachers themselves to believe that they can do anything that they set their mind to do. And therefore, I give Ms. Shepherd a great amount of respect for not only believing it for herself, but for also teaching it to her students. I also believe that teachers do not realize how big of an impact that they can make on a student's life, but little does she know she greatly impacted mine. Ms. Coop was my 7th grade English teacher at Woodland. Ms. Coop was always strong on women empowerment. She made an organization and it was called Real Girls Stand Strong. Ms. Coop says, by empowerment I mean being a positive role model and kind to one another and treating others with respect. She also says, my goal for this organization is to help young girls find their unique qualities and how they can use those qualities to affect the future of our world. Most of all, by Ms. Coop teaching us that being a woman cannot stop us from doing anything that we set our mind to do has greatly impacted me. It has also given me the self-confidence that is the reason I'm able to stand here today. Last year, my freshman year at Scott High School, Ms. Lapham was my green engineering teacher. She wasn't just a science teacher, she was the one that any student could go to. No matter what you needed to talk about, she was there for you. This is the type of teacher that I want to be. I want to change students' lives for the better, and I want students to know that they can come to me for anything that they need. I'm very thankful that Ms. Lapham has taught me this skill, and I hope that one day I can pass it on to my own students. I would like to thank everyone once more for having me speak here today, and a special thank you to Dr. Cox-Curry for making this happen and inviting the Future Educator Academy Scholars.
Hello, my name is Hanley Welch, and I'm a 2nd year scholar in the Future Educator Academy. For as long as I can remember, I've always wanted to be a teacher. And there were many teachers along the way who truly inspired me to follow my dreams of becoming an educator. In elementary school at Kent Elementary, my 5th grade teacher was Mrs. Reynolds. Mrs. Reynolds was very interested in social studies. She never relied on the history textbooks to relay information. She always had her own stories and resources to tie into the lessons that she taught. Mrs. Reynolds plays a huge role in my decision of majoring in social studies. Her passion is what developed my love for the subject. In middle school, at Summerview Middle School, I was placed in Miss Gavin's 8th grade Advanced Language Arts class. When Miss Gavin would teach, she always had this positive energy that had everyone excited for that day's work. There were times where we had to present in front of the class as a whole, and even though I personally had to fear public speaking, Ms. Gavin's encouragement to do our best gave everyone the confidence that they needed in order to be successful. That's the kind of teacher that I want to be. I want to be the teacher that my students come to with a problem and trust to help them through it, while also making sure that they are learning in the process. Sophomore year, last year, at Simon Kent High School, I was placed in Miss Horline's World Civilizations class. As I have previously stated, history has always been my favorite subject, so I was already looking forward to that class. It wasn't until I was in Miss Horline's class that my decision to major in social studies was validated. The way she made the class motivated to learn was simply inspiring. Instead of just giving us notes to write down, she made jokes, kept us engaged, and made sure that the teaching techniques that she was using were the best possible to help further our knowledge. When I have my own classroom, just like Miss Horline, my goal is to make learning fun, exciting, and engaging. These 3 classrooms, these 3 teachers, all of my teachers, have contributed to helping me discover my true passion for teaching. Last year, I was a pioneer that started the Future Educators Academy. My collaborative partner and I did research, made proposals, and presented on our project of teaching multiple intelligences at the same time. My academy teachers are teaching me methods and techniques that will help me develop the skills that I need in order to be successful. I'm so thankful for them. I'm thankful for the guidance of Mrs. Reynolds, Ms. Gavin, and Ms. Horline. And I want to thank Superintendent Dr. Cox-Cruey for having the Future Educators Academy here this morning. I want to thank all of them for leading me in the right direction to becoming a successful educator for future generations. I look forward to sitting in this audience in just a few years when I'm a teacher at the Kent County School District. Thank you.
All right, let's give them one more round of applause.